So, Mark, can the Commanders bounce back after that L they took to the Lions?
Of course they can bounce back. It's only week 2. But I do want to talk about that Lions loss because we really lost that. The defense really did lose us that game. A lot of blown assignments, a lot of misreads, bad angles, and it was just in the first half. It was the D line. The blitz was not being picked up and not even being called. Long routes on blitz plays where you need 4 seconds to throw the ball and getting the Carson Winston three. So I mean, it was just bad football on Washington. So I throw that out there. But can we bounce back? Yes, we can bounce back. The offense is explosive. So that's one positive thing about the whole situation. The D is trash, but the offense is explosive, and the three-headed monster with Jahan Curtis and McLaurin. I mean, we got a really solid offense, and we still gonna have pieces come back. So yeah, we could definitely bounce back from the loss. It was probably a teachable moment. We was too high on the Jaguars win, but we did give up 800 yards to the number one and number two overall picks in the draft. So that looks very bad on our defense, and that's concerning. So some needs to happen. The change needs to happen somewhere on that end of the field. So
All right, talk to me, Lions fan, Carl.
All right, yep. Couldn't find my Lions hat, so I gotta wear my Tigers hat. So, but yeah, man. So first, I would just like to say, the Commanders can bounce back because to me, this ain't really a bounce back moment. As y'all saw the graphic in the game, the Lions have won the last 5, now 6 out of the last 7 against the Commanders, which is what I was trying to say. I don't know if I said this on the show or in the chat, but I was trying to say it like the Lions had the Commanders' numbers. No matter what it is, like they always got their number. And I just want to say a few things. Yes, that defense gave up a lot of yards, but it's bad when the Lions got confidence in Jared Goff late game to just keep slinging the rock instead of running the ball and killing the clock and getting up out of there. Like I've never seen the Rams or the Lions be like, all right, Jared Goff, we should be running the ball, but you so hot. We just gonna have you keep throwing it, and he's completing the passes. Like he looked really good. It was moments in the game where he was still Jared Goff. Where, to be honest, I feel like the Lions could have scored more points if he wasn't Jared Goff. But he did look good. And now with the Lions' run game, 2 weeks straight has looked excellent. They put up like almost what they put up above, I think 150 against the Eagles week 1 rushing.
Mm-hmm.
They again went stupid week 2 against the Commanders. And as you can see, the Eagles contained the mess out the Vikings run game Monday night. Dalvin Cook couldn't get going. I think he finished 15 rushing yards. I think Kirk Cousins had the longest run for the Vikings with
Yeah.
like 12 yards or something like that late in the game in garbage time. But that defense is concerning for y'all. I will say that. It's again, as y'all all know, it's the secondary. Y'all need help on the back end. Y'all have a piece or two, but y'all don't have a secondary in whole. Now, could it be Jack Del Rio and the defenses y'all running? Possibly. I can't say yes or no. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched enough of y'all to say whether it's Jack Del Rio or like the secondary flat out. But I do see it's a little bit concerning there from watching the Lions game. Yeah, great win for the Lions. Let's go, fear the roar. You feel me? It's Lions football actually looks fun to watch. My mom actually called me and was like, I don't even recognize this team. It's just so fun to watch the game. Like I haven't seen this in a while. So that's good. Yeah, but to answer your question, I think y'all can, even though I don't consider it a bounce back, y'all can pick up from here and move forward.
Yeah, man. I mean, where do I start? Say no, but I was so frustrated watching that game live, and I was even more frustrated watching the condensed version, and even more frustrated watching the 22s. All right, so flat out, the Lions won that game. They earned it. I believe they were more prepared than us mentally. They, you look at the situation, they just came off that Eagles loss when they rallied back in the second half, but fell short. And then, like Mark said, we were too high on that Jaguars win, and don't think it's a bad win. I think we were just too high on it, and we came in there with low intensity in the first half. Well, and then also one thing that the two things the Lions have that's good to me offensive line is great, and their defensive line is good. All right, they at the line of scrimmage they are good, and that's a good start for a great football team. So like a couple of years from now, they keep developing, they keep getting these. They got Swift and everything, but if they just get a quarterback, right, they could be dangerous for real, right? Because they got everything else. But you look at that first quarter and a half, it was just the game plan that we had planned for this game didn't match, wasn't a good match for what they had planned for us, basically, right? Because everything was everything like every play we drew up, nothing was short, everything was long, right? We had no time in the pocket to let the play develop. You look at that Wentz sack in the for the safety. Wentz was in shotgun on the 3 yard line. He was in shotgun, took a 3-step drop back in shotgun, and our lineman got beat by the rookie Hutchinson, whatever his name is, right? He got beat on the
Hater.
edge, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then it was a safety. So, but we did adjust it midway through the second quarter. We started doing like a lot of quick throws, stuff like that. We couldn't get the first down. We couldn't score. But if you seen the second half, they knew we had to throw the ball, and we were still able to throw the ball because we made adjustments. So that's one thing I'm excited about this team. That game is we do have an explosive offense. All right. You guys are calm commanders all you want. We got some great skill players. We got Curtis Samuels, who's leading the team in targets so far, fully healthy. This dude is showing up so far, right? Even though, like Mark says, number 1 and 2 pick in the draft, it's still an for a team, right? So Curtis Samuels is balling. Jahad Dawson, best hands in the draft. That's what they've been saying. He's been proving it. 3 TDs already. He hasn't dropped the ball yet, and every catch he has so far were all contested, and he's caught all of them. 3 TDs. You got
And
Terry
back to
McLaurin.
back rookie of the week.
Yeah, back to back rookie to read. And what's that record he broke, Mark? You mentioned?
Oh yeah. To out of the last 25 receivers in the draft, he was the first one to get they 11 tied with 2, and he got 3, so he broke that record, like the
Three
most
TDs in the
touchdowns in
first
the
2
first
games,
2 games by a rookie.
right? So Jahaz balling. You got Terry McLaurin, right? Antonio Gibson. He didn't have a lot of yards, but I mean, you watched that game. He did the best he could for real. That our O line got killed by the Lions D line. All right. So, but the defense, dog, is so bad. It's so bad. Hey, Carl, watching that game, I would give the Lions credit, but a lot of their explosive plays was just straight miscommunication.
Yeah, y'all
Or
let us fly sweep
it
go
was
50 plus yards.
like
That's
straight
a
to
nice. Not gonna lie, that's a nice play. We
what
ran
play.
a play, they ran a play, the other team that ran a play. That play works. Like that whole day was
Yeah,
gonna
but
be good.
y'all's went for like 12. Theirs went for like 50.
Yeah,
What play you talking about?
The fly sweep, the
the
reverse.
the sweep, the reverse to the
See,
receiver. That was a
see, that was
yeah,
yeah, that
that was a
was
good play.
what's his name? Number 22 fault. Number 22. We keep getting his
Dirk
Dirk
name.
Force.
Force.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Foster. That was his fault, right? Like
Force.
hit for us. His issue is he take hard he take like he take hard angles and it be bad angles. Like it's like it's terrible, right?
Yeah, he got bad
So
pursuit.
yeah, bad pursuit, terrible pursuit. Every mistake he made was that was the issue, right? And Holcomb had a terrible game. One thing I'm excited about our second year player, Jamin Davis, he had a good game. He played good that game. Not saying he was great, but he didn't have any mistakes I saw after being called out the first game. Now, listen, I don't want to, listen, Ron Rivera, he had some good moments, but one thing I didn't like about Ron Rivera this week is that he constantly called out the players, and I haven't really heard him much talk about him and the coaching staff. Because if you got players constantly out of position, players constantly missing assignments, what are we doing to fix that problem? Because that's the issue. That's the issue we had last year. Kenneth Fuller, oh my gosh, getting cooked every time. William Jackson III, oh my gosh, getting cooked every time, right? So our secondary is terrible. Not just our secondary, our linebackers are not showing up. Only thing that's showing up is our front four. But the front four are getting frustrated because they are half second away from a sack, and then you got St. Brown in the end zone, Moss and William Jackson the third. So
Oh my God.
I
Hey,
still
St.
think
Brown
that,
one of them though.
but
It don't
no,
even matter. It
that was
was
a
just
terrible play.
bad. That was a
No, I'm
Terrible
bad
play.
saying
play,
St. Brown
man.
is actually really good. Like
No,
No,
he
he's
yeah, I
good.
like St. Brown. Yeah, he is.
He
He is.
he's
But that
good,
shouldn't
but
even, man.
he didn't get Moss like he went up with him, and then he just got the best out of him. I could have caught that. So like, bro, I probably could have caught that. He slipped and some more stuff. All right, so I do believe that we still are capable of making the playoffs. We got an easy schedule, and this one game, like Mark said, this is good for us. And Eagles are off a high, and we are off a low, and that's good for us for real. So we're coming into this week humble, and I like it. So of course
Hey,
we
can I
can
say
bounce
one
back.
thing, Joe?
Yeah, go ahead. You can say a lot of
All right,
things.
because y'all spoke about being high on the Jaguars. I will give you credit, like I did in the chat. You kept it real. You legit in your 50-second short said that y'all should have lost that game. The Jaguars lost that. I mean, y'all shouldn't have won that game. The Jaguars lost that game. So I respect you for keeping it real about that.
Now
So
look,
okay, I'm gonna say something about that because I
go
didn't
ahead, go
agree
ahead,
with
go
that
ahead, go ahead.
statement at all. It was like it was an immediate reaction after a game. Like it was highs and lows. But if you watch the game in the all 22s, you'll actually really see what happened. And this they could have scored like 30 plus, but we could have scored 50 points. So it's just like it was good and bad on both sides. So I'll
Yeah.
give them that. Yeah, they it was immediate reaction without watching it. It was just like we won.
Yeah, Carl, I agree with Mark. So if I had to redo that video, I would say that we we got lucky on defense, but on offense there were opportunities we missed also. So and me when it comes to the Commanders for some reason I have the worst case scenario view. So I'm not gonna say we should have lost that game, but as far as defense, we were actually because you look at our stats, third down we were great. I think we only had we only allowed 3 first downs that
Yeah,
game.
three for
But
they was 3 for 12.
the
Yeah.
stats don't tell the story though. And just like the Lions game, they only got 4 first downs. I think they were 4 from 13 somebody down on third down. And I'm like, you look at that, you think we got a good defense, but no, that's not telling the story. Nah. So if you watch the game, our defense, Jack Del Rio, listen, I don't want to call him right from their job, but if he has another terrible game against the Eagles, something got to change. Something got to change. The last time Ron Rivera was the defensive coordinator, the Chargers was the number 1 defense. So
Even if you don't, yeah. So
I just
I
want to
can't.
say that I've been saying that 2020 year was an outlier on
mm-hmm.
defense.
No, it was just players playing. Like they was really. It was like first and second year. Like it really
I'm
was. They was
telling you,
balling. Like they was there.
I'm telling you,
Cam Curl
man.
first year.
Half
That
the
was
teams y'all played outside of y'all division put up 30. Then the other half didn't. But then y'all division was full of the Dakless Cowboys. The Eagles was playing Nate Sudfeld in the fourth quarter, and the Giants stunk.
I didn't even know his name. I'm mad you knew his name.
Nate Sudfeld.
Indiana, University of
Jack
Indiana.
and Jack Cullimore. Stop. Yeah, Jack Del Rio, man, something got to change. Like the fact that they call out our players, but coach got to take his responsibility also. All right, so. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button, no matter what you're listening to or watching it. Hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.